lose your job, I'll take your man. Your kids will be calling me mom. Like,
That's
yeah, that's probably
crazy.
Killer bit.
Hey y'all, welcome to Real Relatives, the podcast where three siblings dive into the world of TV and film. My name is Tosin.
And I am Penny Carmichael.
And I am Gene Rogers.
And we are the Real Relatives. All right, welcome back, extended fam, to Real Relatives. On today's episode, I'm so excited. We are going to be covering an episode of Black Mirror Season 7. And the episode we're going to be going over is Bête Noire, or Noir. Am I saying that right?
I'm not sure. I say noir.
I didn't tell you.
Noir.
Noir.
Noir. Yeah, maybe
Well,
that's fine.
Well, we're going over Bet something for the binge portion of the show. And then for the banter segment of the show, the petty part of me is very excited because today we are going to be talking about the most satisfying on-screen deaths. And, you know, I love some revenge, a good death scene. So that's going to be an exciting one for the banter segment of the show. But before we get into that, we're going to do what we always do. And that is kicking the episode off with the quote of the day. Gene and Penny, are y'all ready for my quote?
Yes, I am ready. I just want to say, by the way, that you're a sociopath. And that's okay.
Hmm? Oh, yeah. Because you're naughty. Please do the
That's
quote.
crazy. All right, yeah, do the quote. Do the quote.
All right. Okay, so the quote for today is, "My mother thought I was a monster. She was right, of course, but it still hurt." I'll say it one more time.
Mm.
My own mother thought I was a monster. She was right, of course, but it still hurt.
I've heard this.
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
heard this.
I've definitely
but I
heard it.
cannot think of where. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to narrow.
Okay, I'm counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A ring a ding ding ding. Who wants to go first?
Ladies first, of course. Penny, please.
No, you always do that. You go.
All right.
Gene, go first.
I will say Joe from You.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Pens, how about you?
That's I don't know. This is wrong, but the Joker. Dark Knight. I don't know.
No. Yeah. Okay. Both of y'all were wrong, but good guesses. Both vile,
Crazy. Now she.
horrible people.
She said yeah.
Yeah, I thought Penny was right. I thought she got it. But okay, so do your big reveal, please.
Yes, the big reveal is Azula from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
It fits.
That little crazy hoe.
She is crazy, and this also isn't helping Gene's sociopath claims about me. So
Yeah.
True.
but I feel like it lines up with the episode. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
I see why you picked it.
I was just trying to stay on theme. So before we get into the binge segment, for our listeners out there, I just want to say thank you for listening, of course. And then, as always, please share the show with your people. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things. Real Relatives is available on all major podcasting platforms, and we're on YouTube too. But tell your people about us so we can keep on growing the show. And thank you for the support so far. Alrighty, so before I go into the summary for this episode of Black Mirror, just a spoiler alert for Black Mirror Season 7 for the episode titled Bête Noire, whatever. Bête Noire is about Maria, a food researcher at a chocolate company whose life takes an uncomfortable turn when Verity, a former schoolmate she once bullied, joins her workplace. Verity's presence starts to trigger a series of inexplicable changes in Maria's reality. Her work is altered, colleagues' memories differ, and even basic facts seem to shift. These distortions lead Maria to question her sanity, cause issues in her romantic and work relationships, and eventually results in a job loss. The situation escalates when Maria discovers that Verity created a device in the form of a necklace pendant that allows her to manipulate timelines. Verity has been using this technology to gaslight Maria as revenge for bullying and spreading damaging rumors about her when they were younger. After a physical scuffle, Maria kills Verity and seizes the pendant, gaining control over reality, and she begins to reshape the world around her to her advantage.
It was a crazy episode.
Yeah.
I had a lot
Let me
of
tell you
feelings. Okay, go ahead, Penny. Start us off.
Let me tell you something.
I was let me tell you, I was very upset watching this episode.
Why?
Really?
What would possibly
About what, though?
possibly made you upset?
I watched it in 3 chunks, and it was like because the gaslighting and the I was just like, this woman isn't working. She's working in the back. She's working in the wings against her. And it was just really frustrating because I was getting so upset because nobody was seeing what was really going on. That was just, and I think that concept to me is just very frustrating.
What do you mean?
Personally. Like when like nobody is seeing what's really going on, and like somebody is like trying to like, you know, somebody's trying to make somebody seem like different than who they are, or you know, like
they're crazy.
Yeah, I guess like they're crazy, whatever. Anyway, it was frustrating.
It was such like, I feel like when I was watching it, I too was getting, you know, frustrated. But at the same time, I'm like, this is such sibling energy that's happening right now, like in a clearly more extreme and serious way. But
Wait,
I definitely
wait a minute. How do you treat
siblings?
Sibling?
Wait,
no,
what?
but like, but you know, maybe when you're a kid, you would like, you know, maybe poke your sibling or do something to them, and then when they would go and like report you to, you know, your parents, you'd be like, I didn't do anything, or what are you talking about?
Oh,
Yeah,
you did
y'all
that
never
to
did that.
me. You did
Yeah, I
that
was
to
like,
me.
Penny,
Yes,
please
so I
confirm.
understand why you.
Penny, please
So yes,
confirm.
and it would piss me off because our mother,
Ooh.
she would always get on me for some reason, and it seems that
Really?
seems reversed, right? Because I'm the youngest
Yeah.
one, so you think like I would be able to be. No, mother always would believe Tosin, or she'd be like, Penny, quit it, or like behave or whatever, and I was like, this
Tosin, you
girl
were the
is
Verity?
doing it on purpose.
Tosin was a Verity. That's great. Actually, yeah,
The
that's my
thing
new thing, by
is,
the way. I'm not, because there's Karens and now there's Verities.
they're Verities. I like that.
Yeah.
I think okay, and so maybe that's the reason why I feel like clearly this was a triggering episode for Penny. But yeah, maybe it's just because I'm like, one, just be more charming and stop being so reactive.
That's crazy. Okay,
And, you know,
but
maybe
you're saying a lot of gaslighty things right now, but you're not 100% wrong.
I
Let me say why.
know.
Because as we were watching the show, I was like observing Maria, right? And I was like, yo, she keeps falling into Verity's traps, and it's getting bad.
Yes.
Right? From the very beginning,
Mhm.
she was like, oh, okay, no, it's Barney's, not Bernie's. Barney's, not Bernie. And look, I will admit that I have a tendency to maybe correct people from time to time, or like I
The
have to insist on
tendency,
things.
the lifestyle.
You know, things have to be like
What?
just so. But let me tell you, I'm not screaming about chicken in the office to my coworkers. Okay, so that was the first time she got embarrassed. The second time, I said, okay, it was after the email or whatever. When she was like, oh no, I said carrageenan or whatever, and they looked at the email and it just said non-pork gelatin. At this point, you are now aware that this woman has either she is very technologically advanced or she's a witch. And so when she drinks the milk, and then people are asking, oh, who drank the milk? And everyone's looking at you. Please, my answer is, I don't know. Hey, I was never there. Because what am I going to do about this witch? I am not accusing a witch. I don't have
with
powers.
With the milk thing, I feel like Verity would have found a way to reveal, but you know, that it was Maria who did it, whether or not she like denied it. I think the thing that made it hard for me to like Maria, I don't really know what the word is because I didn't really like any of the characters, but I was just like, stop easily falling into the
Bro,
trap. Like
you
she
don't
was
have
so
to do-
easy.
You don't have to correct every time. You don't have to be screaming every time.
She was yeah, she's so easy to lure in, and I even feel like at the towards the end of the episode when she goes to Verity's house, which was also the worst home break-in I've ever seen. I'm like, Maria, you are not smart. But Verity was just like, even for the other classmate that she had tortured and the lady, unalived herself. She was like, it took her 5 weeks to break, and it took Maria like 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Why were you so like, come on,
Yeah.
girl? You know how
Mm-hmm.
these white people move, especially in the workplace. And I'm like, you have to be a little more aware. You
Speaking of
have to
white,
be like you, huh?
I said, speaking of white, let's talk about
Yeah,
it.
let's get into it
Let's talk
because
about it.
I
Yeah.
have some things to say.
Because Verity was leaning into that white privilege,
That.
um,
By the way,
referring to Maria as
why did her name
aggressive.
have to be Verity?
That because
Verity it
it's
literally
ironic.
means truth.
It's
They're
funny.
always going to believe her.
Oh, so I would
There you go.
I didn't know that. Y'all are dweebs.
Yeah.
That's crazy. When people who don't have
No, I
knowledge,
recently learned.
that's actually very like aligned with this administration. Where like, oh, you guys are what out there learning, huh? You guys are
Ooh, if it's one
learning
thing,
stuff.
if there's one thing Gene's gonna do, it's make something political every episode. But continue.
This is not a political podcast.
He's
This is not. This is
But
not. This is
it's
not
not a
a.
political podcast.
This is not a political podcast.
It's
Though.
not political. It's not political.
Anyway, going back into the white privilege of it, what were you saying, Penny?
No, she just because she was calling Maria aggressive. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
She was
yes.
like, "Stop shouting at me."
That triggered me as well.
Yeah, and it had some. There was some. It felt racially charged or racial undertones, whatever that happens to Black women in the workplace and in just life in general all the time. And I don't think that was like a coincidence that they've dropped it in the episode like that. I think they
Yeah.
were specifically like highlighting something. And then they make you seem like you're crazy when you have feelings or opinions. And I'm like, no, this one she's the problem, not me.
And yeah, I totally agree with like the white privilege. I mean, for me, I'll even go as far and say that Verity was a racist. I think Verity was a racist.
Okay.
And so
Mm,
yes, no, not
mm,
is she was a racist.
How's well, okay? Because she definitely was. She was definitely playing up that like yes, that like oh because she's like I don't want to say anything because I'm so intimidated by her. There's definitely like
Oh God.
those
Yeah.
Karen-y white woman undertones for sure, but full
mhm.
blown racism.
Yeah, she was racist.
Yeah. I don't know if
I
she was doing racist things at her, but she was definitely abusing the white privilege, crying white woman tears, and getting away with
and being a racist, and I'll tell y'all why.
Okay, go
it.
go for it.
So so the reason why I think she's a racist or somewhere very close in that vein
Mhm.
is just because Verity could have gone in and like antagonized and provoked and gaslit Maria. We clearly saw that she was doing that like throughout the
Mhm.
entire episode. But then she also made sure to like paint Maria in the light of like an angry Black woman. I feel like she
Mhm.
could have gone in, gotten her revenge, gotten her back, made her lose her job, all those things, gaslit her, make her look like unstable and crazy and stuff without having to also add in like the things that the stereotypes that people tack on to like Black women. She went out of her way to also include that, and I'm just like, oh, because you're a racist, because she was already getting under Maria's skin and making her look crazy, and work wasn't going well and all that stuff. I'm like, she could have just stuck to that, but she also made sure to like infuse racism into it. So yeah, Verity's a racist.
Look, if you, I'm not going to fight that perspective. What I will say is like she was extremely smart, right? Uh, She obviously built this whole like device that allowed people's consciousnesses to switch between like realities or whatever, whatever. Whatever. I didn't really understand that because to me, honestly, she was just a witch. But she also like she
Mhm.
knew exactly what it would take to deconstruct. I think all of her targets. To be frank, I don't think Maria was probably she probably wasn't the last person. There was probably other people on the list that she was going to go and destroy after that, and she was going to destroy them however it made sense. She'll be racist, she'll be sexist, she'll be anti LGBTQ. I think
Mm.
she'll do whatever it takes to destroy that specific individual. That's what I was getting from her.
I wish we could have seen how she like drove the other lady to the edge, because then that
Yeah,
could maybe help with the comparison. But I'm
that's fair
going, as for me and my household, we think Verity a racist.
and fair enough. I will
Dang,
say
that's really sad though.
Maria didn't help her case though. Like I
She's
remember
dumb.
like as it was going on though, I was like, because obviously there was like little things they put in the episode that were for me like supposed to reflect on real life, right? Like her boyfriend wasn't really supportive of her. Her
Oh,
actually, I feel like her boss actually low key was supportive. Her boyfriend definitely was kind of like writing her off, but at the same time, like she came home and she was like, she saw the hat and she was like, oh, it said Barney's before. He's like, nah, it said Bernie's. I used to work there for a year. And she was like, no, you have to believe me. And I understand why she was frustrated, but I was like, how is he supposed to believe her? Or how is he supposed to support her?
so no, so I get that she like Verity was going around in the boy like for the boyfriend and like altering the reality. So clearly, Maria knew what was true and everyone else didn't. They had no control over that. But I just like was very annoyed with the black men on the show, and I don't know if that was like intentional or whatever. But I just felt like in the real world, I feel like there's a big issue of like a good portion of black men not believing or supporting black women in the way that we often support them and having their back. And I just felt like this episode was actually very triggering in that sense, because her boyfriend did not have her back at any point, and the boss didn't really have her back. He did it first or made it seem that way, but he was also very quick to like switch it up on her. And when Verity was using language like, why are you shouting at me? And things like that, he leaned into that. And I'm like, don't you hear the things that we're often like black women are often called? And you're so quick to like side with this white woman because she's crying white tears. And I was just like, that's
Yes
why
and
we
no,
call y'all the
right?
weak links.
Okay, well, not going to address that right now. It's a longer conversation. It's a different podcast. But I will say, like when so for her boyfriend, actually, low key, if she had like listened to him a little bit, she probably Verity was still going to destroy her life, but maybe it would have happened a little bit more slowly. Maybe she could have got at least 2 or 3 weeks because
Listen to,
no,
yeah,
no, because he was
go
like,
off,
Why
he was
didn't
like,
Penny.
he?
oh, he
Go
was
off,
like,
Penny.
oh,
Wrong,
all right, well,
wrong. Why didn't he listen to her a little bit? Okay, from
Yeah,
the
like why did
beginning,
it
I
have to be
understand. I understand
Maria?
he was being mind control. I understand he was being mind controlled. Yes, yes,
that's
yes.
crazy. I
But
understand he was being mind controlled, but why didn't he listen?
No, but he
yeah,
could have listened to her,
and
because even the boss listened to her at first too. He went and did the background check,
He
and
did the
because
background
Verity
check.
altered the reality, it's like, oh, all these things check out. But he at least slightly listened to her. Her boyfriend did not listen to her at any point. My bad, Penny. I jumped in, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, y'all are
go
saying,
off.
oh, I said two things. First of all, y'all are saying the boss slightly listened to her, but he did the background check. That was number one. And then like when she said, oh, X, Y, and Z happened, and Verity was the one who like did the put the wrong ingredient list together. He brought her into he brought them into like the meeting and was like, okay, well, what happened? Da da da. Try to resolve it, and then it was like, all right, let's look at the evidence. Boom. All the evidence is showing one thing versus the other. Like he was kind of let it just be like, all right, well, it was what it was. And then when it was like the milk, he was like, all right, like, fine, like let's look at the tape. He was I feel like he was trying to give her like a fair shot at a lot of it. And then when he was like, oh, go easy on her because you're starting to seem vindictive and trying to like, oh, you might want to be careful about how you're coming off. She was like, nah, F that. I'm still gonna just put
Not
my head down and rush.
if
Like
I'm
what
frustrated
more
about
was he supposed to
something
do?
that a white woman is doing, like, and it's clear a white woman is like upsetting me in the workplace, and I don't care if I've been proven wrong. If your words to me are go easy on her, as this white woman is crying next to me, I'm I've mentally blocked you. Like it's you've created a mental block.
All right, so
Be mindful of
take
your
a moment and
language.
educate
Be
them. Take a
mindful of your
moment.
language.
Beyond that, like what should the boyfriend have done? What does it practically look like?
Pens, do you have anything you want to say? You're very wise, and I feel like I'm talking a lot.
I
But
oh,
yeah,
not ways. No, I think yeah, he was being mind.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, no, he was being mind controlled. I understand that, like, because we know that as the audience. But I think in real life, like what he did was not uncommon for people to experience in relationships. And maybe like especially like I feel like women of color, they experience these things in the workplace or in life, and a lot of times people don't believe them, or they make them feel like they're exaggerating. So yes, it was mind control, but nothing he was doing was so like out of the realm of possibility. That was what was frustrating to me. So it's this weird thing where it was not real, but also like it was real.
I get that, and that makes sense. I feel like in my notes I was like, oh, he's not believing her. It makes sense, but it's not right. Like he should have been. I think he should have maybe opened with support, but I think he was also like, oh, yo, like I do think there has to be some room for him to also like hold her accountable in some sense when he's like, it's clear that like not being the popular person in the room was bothering her, like not being the top dog was bothering her, and some of her instincts were fueled by that, probably back when they were kids and in the workplace like today. And I feel like if she had been able to like let some of that go, maybe the situation would have gone differently.
So when you take notes for the show, do you
Maybe.
just like write what's happening in the show? He didn't believe her. You just like wrote down what's going on.
Anyway, look, um, was Verity wrong?
Shit.
Was Verity wrong for what for how she, after we figured out everything that happened to her, whatever, was it so wrong for her to do what she did?
Look,
I'm asking two
on the
sociopaths.
on the other side of
Excuse
things,
you?
yes, we said she was leaning into white privilege. She's using white women tears. On the other side of things, look, how are you going to expect people to act when you bully them mercilessly like that? Like that type of stuff does damage to people.
Okay.
And not to sound like a oldie, but it's like I wish kids and just people in general would understand that. Like your actions have consequences. These were very extreme consequences, and
Sound like an oldie.
I'm not saying what she did. I just feel like someone's like father. I don't know, but I'm not saying what she did was like okay. But I'm like I
Obviously,
understand. Like you treating, huh?
I said obviously, yeah. I don't think you actually condone
Very
like murder.
extreme. But it's like murder. But I just feel sorry.
But Very didn't murder anyone.
Okay, so
I
you
mean,
don't
she kind of
condone
drove.
inducing,
She drove
yes, driving
somebody
people to
to end their
unaliving
life.
themselves. Yeah,
She
So
drove people to the edge. Yes.
it could arguably
the
be considered
sociopath.
murder in a court of law. But anyway, no.
Honestly,
So
I
she
forgot
The
about
lawyer,
the.
Esquire, Penny
and
Esquire.
don't start now. Won't be none. Like
I'm saying, yeah, very much that F around and find out the access. You know what I mean? Like that is.
yeah.
Although I will say, like if I had those powers, I want to believe that I'm not going to go back and go get revenge on people. I just have other things I would want to accomplish. I don't know.
Oh,
I have mixed
oh my
feelings.
gosh. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, is that you? Whoa.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
fine. What would you do? Why don't we just hop
What
right
would
into
you
it?
do if your son was at home?
Please stop. We'll hop right into our wild card question for the episode, which is if you had those powers, what would you do?
Tels, I think you were gonna say something. You go ahead and start.
Better question, actually. If you were Verity, how would you be living your life? What would you be doing?
Honestly, I I had a hard time with this episode because both characters sucked. Couldn't root for Maria, clearly, but then also with Verity, she was a racist, and so I just can't get behind it. So I think Verity, honestly, with the exception of the racism, did everything right.
That's
She
crazy.
did
The killing was
everything.
okay. The racism was wrong, but the killing was okay.
She took the things that and Maria called Verity out. She's like, girl, you got all this power, you've had all this time, and this is how you're choosing to spend your free time. And I felt I was about to type that into my notes, and then Maria just took the words out of my mouth. So I understood that. I'm like, dang, you really this is how you dedicated all of your days. But then Verity did go on to say that she had done everything.
Mm-hmm.
She had done everything you could possibly do, but she was still upset about what people did to her. So after she did all the things, then she went to get even. And so I don't know if I would have deviated too far off the path of what Verity did. I wouldn't have done it to the extent where people are like ending their, unaliving themselves, because
Mm-hmm.
I can't, I wouldn't be able to like
For
deal with
legal
that.
purposes.
But
Sure.
yeah, lose your job, I'll take your man, your kids will be calling me mom, like that.
That's
Yeah, that's
Stealer
probably
man.
crazy.
Stealer man.
No, yeah, like it is true that the response, Verity's response was like, yeah, like, at the end of the day, some of the stuff that happens to you when you're a kid, like there's nothing you can't just like build on top of it. You can't just like put like, oh, I have like money and riches and whatever, and on top of it, that hole is still there.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
all that stuff that she was able to go out and get, and they just couldn't fix the hurt from when she was a kid.
Yeah. I
Which
still
is actually
remember
really
mean
sad.
things that, kids said to me from like, 20 years ago.
Who was it?
It just, I don't
Where
know.
did they live?
No, this kid named Keaton. It was the first day of like whatever
Oh,
grade, because
we're
I'm not
using
trying to let
names?
people know
Yeah,
my
I was like, we
age.
should probably anonymize.
It's a very common name. And also, well, he shouldn't have said what he said. It was rude.
What did he say?
But
Oh,
he
oh.
called me ugly in the lunch line.
He had poor eyesight.
And
Drop his
I
drop his last
remember
name.
it being so like it hurt my feelings because it was the first day of school, and I had especially picked
Not the
out my
first
outfit.
day. Not the
Like
first
I
day.
I remember everything I was wearing. I was wearing a tank top with a strawberry on it, and that's when shrugs had come back into fashion. Penny, I
I don't
don't
know
know
what
if
that
you
is.
What
that
is a shrug? What
You
is
talking
a
about when you
shrug?
lift up your shoulders?
exactly. I was about to say. Yeah, it's like a little almost jacket thing, but then you would tie the front of it a shrug. Anyway, look it up on Google, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Shrug. But
No,
I
no,
was
no. I
wearing
know. I know you're
a
talking
white
about.
tank. Yeah, a white tank top with a strawberry on it, and a pink shrug, blue jeans, and my little G Unit sneakers. And he told me I looked ugly. I was like,
Period.
wow,
G-Unit
yeah.
sneakers. That's
hmm
crazy.
I'm
Drop
aging
Wow.
his last
myself.
name.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember, but I looked on his Facebook like 10 years ago. I was like, you're ugly. And I moved on with
Oh,
my life. But I
Mm,
guess maybe not really
oh.
because I'm talking about it on a podcast 20 years later.
it's
Yeah.
okay.
It's
It's
giving
okay.
Verity. It's giving
Shout out,
Verity.
shout
Oh,
out Keenan. I
no, I
just,
definitely
yeah.
mess with him if I had the pendant. So
hmm
again, I'm not
Penny,
against what she did.
Penny, what about you? Thank you for your vulnerability. Tell us.
Okay, shut
Uh,
up.
Oh
Penny,
yeah. Thank you. That's what makes this podcast so real and
we
impactful.
appreciate you. This is an open and safe space.
I can't stand y'all.
No, I'm sorry that happened to you actually.
It's
That's
fine.
not
It's fine. I know I'm not ugly. I'm very cute.
good. Period.
True.
No, I was making fun of Jean, but I mean, yeah, I would like cure the world. Like seriously, I would like cure the world. But like not before I did like some fun stuff. So I would, like
Sure.
live life as like a royal or like the president or like, just like for short
Not the
periods of time. For
president.
short periods of
Not the
time.
president.
Just like a few days, a week. Things I wouldn't do if I cured the world because ideally I'd be like, it's like
Wait, what
equality.
president would you go and date?
No, what?
I
She
didn't say
said be
date.
the
I said
president,
be
not
the
date the
president.
president.
Oh, you didn't say
Oh,
date?
come on, don't
Never
limit
mind.
her. She's not
Girl.
defined by the man in her life.
Girl.
She is not defined by the man in her life.
Okay.
Period. What are you talking about? So I would live a
Okay. My
Lux
bad.
life.
Wow, my
I would live
answer
the Lux life
sucks.
for a second. But I wouldn't live the Lux life without like fixing like
Mhm.
immediate problems. And then like after I did my luxury, I would
Okay,
then
Gen
like,
Z, we get it. You have a conscience.
okay, eat the rich. Hashtag eat the rich.
Yeah, no, I would actually. That sucks because I would be incredibly rich. Y'all would have to eat me for sure. I'm doing incredible
we
riches
all
for
the
me
same,
and my
baby.
family.
We all
At
live in
least
the
for a
same
while.
4-bedroom,
And then,
2-story.
okay. I would say though, dang man, I literally wrote incredible riches, and then next to that, everyone has equal access to resources. So I'm not exactly sure. I get my conscience definitely hit me midway through, but everyone would be healthy, no diseases, equal access to resources. Like there's no reason for like war and stuff, right? Because I want to be able to like travel and like experience like other places in safety and peace. Like no one has anything over anyone else. Like just chill. I'm a chill guy. Hands in my pockets. I'm a chill guy type of situation. So that would be
Okay.
that would be me. That would be me.
Oh, wait. Okay,
go
so
ahead.
I answered the question differently because you asked if we thought Verity was like, was it okay? That's how I answered it. I didn't
That's
answer like
fair.
what I would do. I'm not going
No.
to, but I just want the listeners to know that I am not. I would use my power for good.
Yeah. Go ahead and
And
add
I
it
was
in
just
there.
speaking on what Verity did. All
True.
right. Anyway,
Look, man. Honestly, we all understand what Verity did. We understand it. We get it. Do what you
Yeah.
gotta do.
racism.
Minus the sure. Okay. All right, ladies. We have binge. Let's move on to the banter. And by the way, I don't know if you all found Verity's death to be satisfying. I personally found it to be shocking. I did not expect it to happen.
I never aspirated.
But
I
let's.
didn't watch. I didn't know what happened
Oh,
because it was violent.
right. Sorry, Verity
We
died.
explained it to you.
Verity
Yeah,
died. I forgot that you turned away and started looking at your phone because you don't do blood very well.
I didn't care about these characters, so I didn't really care that she died.
Her face got blown off. I guess trigger warning for the audience if you haven't seen it.
No pun
But
intended.
you said it after the trigger.
Ra-ta-ta-ta. Sorry.
I did say it after the trigger.
We're still working out the kinks. We're still working out the
That's not how
kinks.
a trigger warning
We're gonna try to fix it in post. Ladies, let's move on to our banter. Our banter for the day.
Yes,
and
please,
it
let's.
is most satisfying on-screen deaths. We were each tasked with coming up with 3 of the most satisfying on-screen deaths of all time. Satisfying, up to your own definition. You can kind of give us a little bit about why. We will start with, and just go ahead and give us all 3 of yours. Let's start with, and trigger warning, we're going to be talking about death. Let's start with Toast.
I am so excited to talk about this. I love a good, satisfying on-screen death. The bar is very high. So, okay, I'm going to get into my 3, starting at the bottom. So, number 3 is, also spoiler alert for shows.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Sorry,
Yeah.
spoiler for everything right now.
Yeah.
Spoiler for everything.
Turn it off if you
Why don't you
want
say the
spoilers.
show first? Say the show first, and then give the person.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first show I'm going to talk about is Wheel of Time. All right, so spoilers for Wheel of Time season 2, and the satisfying death was Rena, whatever her name was, the person who was torturing Egwene while she was locked up in the prison where they were keeping like the Aes Sedai and stuff. When Egwene killed her, she was so mad that she's like, I will die with you. I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't leave this situation alive. It was beautiful because, man, I was really feeling for Egwene in season 2 because it was rough. It was rough. And she finally got her comeuppance and it was beautiful. All right.
I love it.
Now,
I love it.
Yeah.
By the way, Penny
It
was
was
giving us
good.
those little looks like, oh, you nerds. I saw that, Penny.
Were you judging us, Penny?
Yeah.
Egwene, what'd you say?
Egwene.
Get out of here!
Actually,
don't even respond to her. She doesn't deserve it.
I hate the name Egwene. I was like, this is one of the worst character names I've ever seen on anything. If that's a real person's name, I'm sorry.
Oh yes.
Yeah. If it helps y'all feel better, my mom almost named me Dorcas. So,
But she didn't, so it's not the
All right,
same.
go on. Dorcas,
all right. I'm
option.
going into my other 2 options. For these ones, they're all both from the same show. Spoiler alert for drumroll, Game of Thrones. Let's get into it.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
at number 2, the death of Ramses Bolton.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just Ramsey.
Do I need to say more?
It was a very black. Just add an S to the end of the type of thing. Go ahead.
Ramses. His name was Ramses.
No, that's the guy from.
Love is Blind.
Prince of
Love is
Egypt.
Blind. Oh, that too. Actually.
Wait, what was his name? Rams?
Just Ramsey. Just Ramsey Bolton. I think.
Ramsey.
whatever he did, so it doesn't matter. And then because he was absolutely horrible,
Oh, the
torturing
worst.
Sansa, and he was a menace to society. And I was like, he needs to go. It's a great one. And then the other death, which I think should be on everyone's list, is Joffrey Baratheon's death
Mm-hmm.
in Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
He just
Penny,
choked
you had
on
to go
his
back to
own
the drawing board.
poison.
I mean, I mean, hey, yeah, I don't have to go back to the drawing board. It is what it is. The right answer is the right answer. Like,
And my
Hey
thing is,
man, I
I was
love
like,
that.
I am not going with any of the Game of Thrones people because I was like, I am sure it's going to be well covered with my two co-hosts.
yes.
So,
Every
Unique.
all right, Penny, go ahead. Give us
Do
your.
you understand that?
No.
Yeah. I'm the boy.
Alien superstar. So
Wait.
those two were also on my list because how could they not be?
Yeah.
Of course.
When Joffrey said, I said,
Oh my god, choke you little
Gag. Gag.
I wish y'all could see me watching it in the house because when he said, I said, huh? Because nobody expected it. I never expected it.
Never expected
Oh.
it.
Happened. That made it all the more sweeter because it was just unexpected.
Chef's kiss. I might go back and watch that scene after we're done recording.
Bro, it was so good. I felt bad to be rejoicing over someone's death, but hey, I mean, he was.
It's not real. It's not real. It's all for
it's not real. He also wasn't a real person. And then Ramsay was particularly just like sick and twisted, and he was terrible. But this one, the death itself wasn't like super satisfying, but just like dying. John Paul from Bad Sisters.
Girl, why was I thinking about the Pope? I was like,
What?
excuse me.
Oh, that's crazy.
Excuse me.
That's crazy.
What are you talking about? But no, not Pope, not the Pope. We do not want to get smited over here.
No.
Yes, that was actually. No, I thought his death was just satisfying too because she got to do it. Yeah,
it was, and it's crazy because because you obviously bad sister spoilers.
Oh, the trigger warning and the spoiler alert.
But it's also the very beginning of the show, so you know.
Okay, yeah, that's
anyway,
fair.
Sure.
But
that's fair.
but I'll just say like because obviously, and it's crazy because you know that he's going to die, but just like when it happens, because that man was evil. That was an evil man, and
horrible.
I was not expecting it to be Grace, and when it was her, and I said,
And he knew that she did it, right? It wasn't like, oh, who whacked me on the head from the behind? No, you know the woman that you were torturing for years and beating down defeated you. That's a good one, Penny. I'm getting all worked up.
No, I'm getting feelings.
Does anyone, Penny, can you sing the theme song for us from Bad Sisters?
Are they singing in like Irish?
Can I say is coming?
Oh, Seamus.
Yo, bro, you accent work. We're gonna stick to Penny with the accent work.
Wow. Jennifer, let's hear your unique list.
All right. First, by the way, I did. So yeah, I'm gonna start. Actually, obviously, I'm always gonna have a couple smuggles, a couple sneaks. So I'm gonna give you all my honorable mentions. Exactly.
Oh my god,
it's actually
so
exactly
annoying. You're so annoying.
So from Game of Thrones, the two I didn't officially pick, but like Viserys Targaryen, the way he was carting Dany around like a mule, trading her, using her body, and then they finally poured that molten gold on his head. I said, "There's your crown, W. You got it.
Not my baby.
What you were begging for." And then
my moon or whatever you call it.
Yeah, my moon and stars. And then second, actually, Peter Baelish, right, Littlefinger. And it wasn't actually it was like leading up to his death because he thought he had pitted Sansa and Arya against each other.
Yes.
And then like they were in the room and she was like, I forget what exactly she said, but I just remember the scene because like when he finally realized his eyes were going back and forth like ping pong balls, trying to figure out what's happening. And the next thing I know, the guy
because she was like, because she was like, "Oh, so you did X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z," and she was looking at Arya the whole time. So
Yeah,
was
she
like,
said,
and then she turned and she said, "Isn't that right, Lord Baelish?"
Lord Baelish. Yes. He said, huh? Yo, he said, huh? Now there's like
Because
a
he
Looney
was
Tune character.
because he was like grooming Sansa, so I
Oh,
didn't
for
know she was
sure.
going to be able to see past it. And
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
too, like Littlefinger, was surprised, but I kept my head on my neck.
Yeah, no, that was I watched that scene at least like 15 times. I just ran it back over and over. I said, huh, this is somebody who's really getting what they deserve. And Game of Thrones did a fantastic job of creating villains and then like getting rid of those villains in satisfying ways, except for Cersei. Because
I, Bruh, I
I
was
know.
just
Hey,
about to say
we
that,
don't
which
even
is
gotta
why
talk
people
about
are
it.
so pissed about Cersei
We don't
and
even gotta talk
Cersei's
about
death.
it. But my actual three, so I'm gonna go through it quickly.
Oh my
So
God.
number one, uh Emperor Palpatine in Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. Basically, I know neither of you guys are into
Me and
Star
Patty
Wars,
are just
so
like, "Meh."
nah.
Sorry, I
But
don't know.
Star, what?
basically, the person that he turned over to the dark side finally turns back to the light, lifts him up, and throws him into a chasm. And after all the scheming and twisting
Oh,
that he did, he finally gets what he deserves.
Is
Number
that the one
two,
that looked like the Red Devil?
no, it's not the Red Devil. He's
Mm.
like a shriveled old man.
Okay, I
Uh,
tried.
I appreciate you were talking about Darth Maul. I appreciate you for making that thing. Number two, Gus Fring in Breaking Bad.
Grogu.
Uh, this guy was going. All right,
Oh, spoiler
thank you
alert
for
for Breaking
making.
Bad. I haven't seen
Oh,
it.
I am tripping. I should have said. Sorry, Breaking Bad. Whoops.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
haven't seen it
Anyway,
either.
I won't
I
tell you
was
how it
planning
happens,
on
but
watching that in 10
it
years.
happens in a wildly satisfying way. And then the last one, I'm pretty sure everyone has seen Lion King. Scar. Uh, that guy. He's
Um,
Oh.
fighting Mufasa. Mufasa pushes him off the little ledge or whatever, and then he sees the hyenas. He's like, "Oh, my people!" And they're like, "Nah, we heard what you said about us, and now we're about to get it back again." So that's my thought.
And we hungry.
That
it's funny because Lion King crossed my mind, but as one of the saddest deaths with
oh, for
Mufasa,
sure, for sure,
not
for
really
sure.
Scar.
Um,
Yeah, good list, y'all.
yeah. A lot of fun episode. Fun episode of Black Mirror. I feel like I maybe didn't watch a lot of last season, and I kind of want to watch the whole season now. I want to get back in my Black Mirror bag. So definitely
Yeah.
recommend this episode and a couple other episodes. But definitely recommend this episode to everyone.
It was definitely reminded of why I don't like
Yeah.
watching Black Mirror. I was like, it's
100%
too much
opposite.
for me. It's too much of a mind. Yeah, no, thank you. But it's good though. Good job, y'all who worked on it.
Yes, we'll let them know. Any final thoughts?
Not on
um,
my end.
I will actually quickly
what'd you
say
say?
in the episode, she said not on my end. I just want to shout out Mr. Ditta. That is a handsome man.
Mm.
The hair, the
Hey,
beard,
hey,
drop the routine, sir. I mean, guys, hey,
Mr.
you know what I'm saying?
Dita.
Oh, Gene thirsting after Mr.
Hey,
Ditta.
look at him. Look at him.
Me too.
Nobody can blame me. Nobody can blame me.
Me
Anyone
too.
else? Final thoughts.
Did y'all see for the episode, the Black Mirror episode? Did y'all see Bernie's or Barney's on the? What did y'all see? Because I heard that Netflix was playing mind tricks with us, and they were gaslighting people,
Mm?
like giving them like
What?
different slight changes
In
in
the
the
episode?
episode. So,
Oh,
do
that's
you remember if you
crazy.
saw Bernie's or Barney's at the very beginning? I saw Barney's. I didn't go back and check, but I saw it.
Oh my. I,
Mm,
I'm pretty sure I saw Barney, but it had me second guessing.
did I see
Um, but
Barney's?
You
I thought
sounded
I
real
saw
gaslit
Barney's.
right now. Okay.
Did I see
That's
Barney's?
crazy. Not Netflix screwing with that.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
like it
like
though. I like it
interesting.
though. That's what they're ahead of the game. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's very smart. It's very genius.
Um,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I like that. I like that. All right. Well, look. Please go check out the episode. More importantly, check out our episodes. Check out every episode of our podcast at Real Relatives. We found everywhere that podcasts are found. Find us on socials. And thank you, extended fam, for listening. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Be blessed. Don't let people gaslight you.
And don't be racist.
A wonderful note to end on. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Real Relatives. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please take a moment to leave a review, rate us, subscribe, and share our podcast with your people. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and whatever platform you enjoy listening to podcasts on. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X, at Real Relatives. That's REEL, Relatives, to stay updated on new episodes, vote on polls, because, side note, Gene loves a good IG story poll, and just share your thoughts with us. We really mean it when we say we want to hear from you. Make sure to tune in again in 2 weeks for more banter on TV and movies with the relatives. Until then, take care and happy watching.